All right, I'm back on this piece. Going to be, I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. I'm thinking cowboy right now, and so I printed up some stuff today, some reference material on cowboys and such. I even printed up some on Indians as well. This is more the type of horse that this would be, is this horse here. And that shows you how small these horses were. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And these guys were probably real small too. They were probably about 5 foot tall. Anyway, this is from a book I've got of a cowboy on horseback. I got a picture of an old saddle with a A-frame cantle, not cantle, this is a cantle here, but the A-frame, I can't think of the name of it. Fork. Well, anyway. A fork or A-frame, whatever. All right, I'm going to work on the horse a little bit more. I want to get him a little bit better shape, and so I'm going to do that now. Oh, and stay tuned for the end of the video. I have an announcement to make as far as, well, I've had a lot of requests to do videos on instructional videos on sculpting and stuff like that. And I've gathered up all the videos on one particular piece that I've been worked on in the past, showing from the start making the armature and stuff like that. And I'm going to have discs, DVDs that can be played on both computer and on your DVD player on your TV. And I'll make a little announcement on that at the end of the video. So I don't like this, it sort of goes up line on his back, so I'm just going to take that down just a little bit. Make it look more like a horse. And I'm looking at these two pictures. If you notice, I've got a lot of muscle back here, but on these horses there isn't much muscle. It's just this is a Western horse from 1800s, and these are pictures I got off the web of Native Americans, but they're the same type of horse that cowboys used, quite honestly. So I'm going to do a little rearranging of his muscles, so to speak. See, the old cayuses and barbs weren't what you'd consider beautiful horses. They were European horses, brought over by the conquistadors and stuff like that. But they were brought over because of their hardiness, their ability to live off of very little. And they were not your modern day quarter horse by any means. And so, I don't know, I'm leaning towards a cowboy, but I'm also thinking, I love doing Indians. It's just something I do. They were termed slab-sided because the side of the horse was a little flatter and a little narrower than a regular horse. Well, the reason why they had these horses or used these type of horses was because, quite honestly, it was the only thing available. And secondly, grain-fed horses would not have survived out west because of the fact that they would have to have grain, and there just ain't no grain out here in the west back in the early days, and so they actually rode barbs and cayuses right up until sometimes in the 1940s. I mean, I've seen pictures of Native Americans on cowboys on these type of horses right up until the 40s. This is my Sculpting tool here. I got a link for where you can get these online in my video description, of course. Now, the reason why it's got dark clay is because I started this out with a different kind of clay than I'm using right now. And when I ran out of that clay, I didn't go back to that kind of clay. I went to the clay I'm using now. The reason I'm making such big changes to the horse now instead of back when I did it was because quite honestly, I've come a ways since I did this 5 years ago or so in my abilities. At least I'd like to think I did. There's a line of our crease that goes through the muscle here, and it comes on either side of the tail, and it's about a half a horse head measurement for the width of that crease. And then there's another one that runs down here and goes down to the kneecap. And then there's all this big muscle right here. And when you're putting texture in, you don't want to make it straight lines. You want to put a little curl to it. Just sort of reminiscent of the early ink drawings. The shape of the cheek of a person's face was shown three-dimensionally in the lines created by the artist with his ink pen. It's the same thing. It just adds a nice, pleasing texture. And then you come back and take it down with your hand a little bit. You don't want anything too strong as far as texturing. I'm just going to do a little experiment here. I want to see what a saddle might look like on this thing. I'm just going to quick sketch its saddle in. Like I said, I'm not putting this on permanently. I'm just wanting to see what it looks like. The early saddles were real heavy jobs. They weren't small and light. All right, let's go to my little announcement, and be real happy to hear your feedback on that. All right, everybody. Till Monday. Heads widen the shoulders for the male, and I will subtract some width for female. Female's about 1.5 heads wide in the shoulder and a little wider in the hips. So that's the size. Okay, this is a video that I've put together that's playing on my DVD player onto my TV screen, and I'm going to be offering instructional videos of everything from making armatures to following a sculpture from beginning to end, to horses and whatever else. If I can find the videos that I made of doing a monumental piece, I will do those too. Anyway, people have asked me over the past several years to put out instructional videos, and so I think what I'm going to do is do that. I'll let you know as I get these videos together. This is the first one that I've put together, and it basically goes through the making of an armature, this one here, and of a human male, and it's actually the beginning of an untitled piece which eventually became known as Peace Talker. It's a bronze that I did a couple years back. So anyway, they're in high def, or well, high quality, and they're not Blu-ray, but I will try to get a labeler for the disc so that they at least look a little professional. But I'm not going to make them really expensive, but I'll probably go through PayPal to if you want to order it. But I'd really be interested in getting your feedback as to whether you want me to do this or not. And I'd be glad to hear from you on this. All right, I'll keep you informed as to when I get the first one out. This one I started this morning, editing for the disc. And I will put, like say, the armature instruction thing onto one disc, and so that you can just pull that disc out if you want to make an armature and it's been a while, stuff like that. Just little things that you can file away and keep on your art shelf. All right, that's the beginning of it. That's going to be it for tonight, and I'll see you next time. Armature. Let's see. I have the excess over down here. If the hips are too wide, I can just close it up a little bit like that.